Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, September the 24th, 2013. This is Slashplayed Podcast.
Got it in the first try!
Woo!
Yeah!
Setting records up in this bitch.
Or did he?
No, I did. Officially.
Or did he?
Listen, I'm not going to let you fuck this up for me. God damn it. For people who aren't here, it usually takes me like 4 tries.
On average, 2 to 3.
Yeah.
We've seen you do it like 6, though.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, oh God, what day is it?
I know it's Tuesday, but I've been in a coma.
Oh fuck, it's September now. Shit. Alright guys,
Holy shit.
let's go around the horn. Dustin, haha, fucking the horn up. What did you do this week?
Dude, the horn goes in a very specific order, okay?
No,
I
not
played
anymore,
a
It
does it?
goes
lot.
RJ, and then it goes me, and then it goes Dustin.
Well, this is the way the horn's going now.
That was bullshit. I
I
appreciate it.
played a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It was good. It's good. I haven't
care.
beat it yet. I've been
Hey, me
when
neither.
I say I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean I played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5 in between working because I still have to do that for fucking forever.
Oh, it must be so hard getting paid.
Okay,
It's
just an interjection
not
real
even gonna
quick.
go there.
Go on.
Please tell me that was from while Dustin was at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As Keith points at a
No.
Facebook conversation that no one can see.
No, we do not Facebook message each other while we're sitting for 20
I
feet
was gonna
from
say, all you
each
have to do
other.
is yell.
Five
Yeah,
feet
that's
from each
usually
other.
what
That's we
happens
do,
here.
yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
No, that was right as I got off of work, or right before I got off work.
Okay.
So
I
anyways,
just had to interject. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're fine. I understand completely. I would have done the exact same thing.
I can't read the time from here, so I was just like, if those motherfuckers are Facebook messaging from like literally through the kitchen, I'm just gonna quit.
well,
Walk out.
you're fired. You can't quit.
Ooh.
Suck it.
Sick burn.
Do I get my last check?
Yes, yes,
And
Keith.
that's the funniest.
Yes, Keith, you do.
That's the funniest thing that will be said all night. All right. So
I think you owe me an overtime though.
I think you
I've
owe
been,
me.
I've been collecting my pay stubs.
Shut the hell up. Oh yeah, those pay stubs that all say 0 on them. I'll pay you time and a half for $0 an hour.
You still owe me for McDonald's.
What?
When I brought you that McDouble and McChicken.
Where are my quarters?
Don't pay me in quarters. You know what? They're free.
Yeah.
That's recorded on the podcast.
All right, cool.
I'm legally bound now to never have you pay me back for the $2.14 I spent on
Now
you.
I just have to never have cash.
Yeah.
All right. You do anything else? We'll talk about GTA 5 later.
we went. Let's see.
We went downtown.
We went downtown on Saturday. That
I
was
like how
cool.
90% of "Hey Dustin, what did you do this week?" basically just knocks out anything that I have to say.
Yeah.
You do. You both very efficiently coexist at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Efficiently.
Yeah.
I'm making finger bunnies.
So yeah, Saturday.
Quotes.
We went downtown and promoted an event that raises money for cancer next week.
The American Cancer Society.
I'm totally coming.
Yeah,
to
not
that.
not raising money for cancer because fuck cancer. Cancer's an asshole and doesn't need any money raised for it. It's clearly viral.
No, it's actually not.
It's a valid point.
Yeah. I'm leaving exactly that amount of dead air there.
Good.
Okay. Because I don't edit these anymore.
We've gotten pretty good at not having you have to.
Yeah, my editing at this point is pretty much clip the first 2
2
minutes
minutes.
off the front and clip the last. Oh my God, my name's Dustin. I'm complaining about things at the end.
And then,
Hey, I haven't done that in at least 2 weeks.
well, because we've let you say bye in at least 2 weeks.
All
Yeah,
right, anyways.
exactly. Because fuck you.
So what?
And then let's see. Sunday we watched football.
I feel like we need to I feel like we need to elaborate on this downtown.
Oh yeah,
thing.
no.
Football.
Let's
We'll
see.
get to it.
Trent Richardson.
For people,
Fuck you.
for people who are going to be in Wilmington
Spiller's
this coming up
injured.
Saturday.
Yep.
Which is what, the 31st?
No, 28th.
What?
It's the 28th.
Holy
It's a
shit!
Saturday,
It's already
bro.
Tuesday.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday.
Even if it,
so
even if
the
it wasn't
28th
Tuesday, the 31st is still wrong.
Yeah, because it's September. But I'm glad you caught that.
I wouldn't have.
This was me nodding.
The 28th, yeah. So Saturday night, the 28th, at like 8 o'clock at the boardwalk starts.
No.
Maybe 9
No,
o'clock.
9 o'clock.
this is the thing that 9 a.m.
no,
this is
no, it's definitely
No.
This Saturday is 9 p.m. to 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Carnival of the Dreams 3 that has a daytime thing that rolls
Yes.
into a nighttime.
Yeah, no.
Never mind.
So anyway, at the boardwalk, starting at like 9 p.m.
Accurate.
And when I say the boardwalk, I don't mean Carolina Beach. I mean the bar called the Boardwalk downtown
On Front Street?
on Front Street. Yeah. That's which is a very important distinction that most people wouldn't understand.
I'm gonna try to come.
You should. It's gonna be fun.
Do or do not.
There is no try.
Get
Which
off
is
at
also a
9:30.
misquote.
Shut up.
Just saying.
Fact checking is going to ruin this podcast.
Well, I'm
You
not
said that
fact-
the
I'm
first
not,
podcast.
I'm not
Yeah,
fact
well.
checking. I'm just
Correcting.
correct.
Listen.
Anyway, we're gonna be
It's
we're gonna
okay,
be
RJ.
we're gonna be drinking and raising money for the American Cancer Society. So it'll be great.
there's
also gonna be like carnival events, right?
there's going to be all sorts of weird
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. No, there's gonna be
There's
some interesting
Beetlejuice,
things.
there's burlesque, there's
Fire?
fire spinners.
Is there gonna be fire?
There's gonna
Can
be
we do
fire.
Me dressed up as a Marvel character.
Listen, whether we can do it or not, we're going to do it.
that? Okay. It's not like the what is it? The fire.
Dude, I don't know.
What?
Ask me anything about what's
fire,
going on.
Fire code.
Hey, what's going on?
I fucking dude.
I mean, literally fire code. But
No,
it's not like authorities listen to this podcast, so it's not like we're giving anything away. But
That
it's
we
gonna
know
be it's
of.
gonna be crazy, and we're gonna raise money. So it's for a good cause, and if you listen to this podcast, you should definitely come out.
hey NSA, if you're
Um,
listening to this, get at me. You've got my phone number
You know.
and my
But yeah,
email
and
address
it's sponsored.
and all the porn sites I go to.
It's run by Fuck You the Clown and a bunch of the carnies.
Bunch of idiots.
Is the Cape Fear Stormtrooper going to be there?
He will probably be there.
I mean, the Cape Fear
was-
Stormtrooper was with us downtown to promote it, so
Yeah, so he will probably be
He has
there.
a really cool helmet.
He's
you know how much he spent on that thing?
He's a nice guy.
$600.
$1,200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
on the helmet by itself.
No, on the whole suit.
Yeah,
Oh.
the helmet was a $600 helmet. So
Huh.
I've heard. Well,
I
because
believe
it
it.
That
has
wouldn't
like the
surprise me.
microphone and the speaker and then the fans and all that cool stuff.
I mean,
Yeah, the
it-
things that keep him from dying
Dying,
while
yeah.
wearing that fucking suit in North
Yeah.
Carolina during the summer.
Yeah, it's kind of humid. At least in the daytime.
Yeah.
Recently,
So
because nights
Yeah.
have been cool.
I was gonna
and
say
days
it's been
have
getting
cool.
down to like 60 degrees. I
Yeah,
don't
man,
like it.
fall's coming. Fall's here.
Fuck fall.
Wasn't fall yesterday?
I don't know.
2 days ago.
Something like that.
Thanks, Dustin
Woo!
Keith, with the weather report.
What's the
So,
weather?
I'm not. It's
Weather on the ones.
it's a $5 cover to get in, and that is what is going to the
Oh, yeah,
American
$5.
Cancer Society. I think everything else goes to the bar.
Well,
I would assume.
I've
yeah.
gotten
There's some sort of probably contribution.
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
sure-
bar,
I'm sure
but-
there
Pretty
will
sure
be-
some kind of profit sharing.
I'm sure there will be dumb activities that are like, hey, pay $1 to do this thing.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think once you pay $5, you're in.
Yeah, I played quarters at a bar for free.
But maybe,
Didn't
I
even
don't
have to
know.
pay a cup.
I mean, I
I
paid $7
have-
at Carnival of Dreams, and then they were doing $2 dildo tosses. So
Oh, right. Yeah, that did happen. I forgot about the $2 dildo toss.
Don't you win a dildo
yes,
if you get 3 in a row?
I don't know.
Wait,
totally gonna go win a dildo.
does
Of
that
course
mean,
you are.
Is the amount you pay like proportional to the amount of balls you have? Does Darren have to pay $3 to dildo toss?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be the one guy to whip it out and just be like, I only got one.
Haha!
$1, bitch, give my dildo.
$1 dildo toss.
All right, so that's happening on Saturday.
If you're lucky, there'll be a dildo toss.
Listen, it wouldn't be the first time we've said dildo on a podcast.
Dildo,
Because Saints Row 4.
dildo bat.
As I say, dildo bets.
Listen, we'll get back to the dildo bat later. That's
I know.
that gets in the news.
That comes back in, yeah.
In the news.
And then football happened on Sunday. And it was
Uh-huh.
kind of-
Football! I'm doing it again.
It was kind of a lazy Sunday.
It was the laziest of Sundays.
It was the laziest of
Darren was
Sundays.
here. That's how lazy it
Yeah, I
was.
forgot about that. Yeah,
Browns
Darren was
won.
here. Yeah, Browns won.
Man.
The
Dol-
chair's back just fell.
Yeah, broken chair.
Dolphins are 3-0.
All right.
Yeah,
which
which is
now that I
nuts.
said it is going to completely jinx us for next week.
You know what's really awesome though?
What?
The Browns are currently ahead of the Steelers in their division because the Steelers are
Yeah,
0-3.
The Steelers are kind of
Bitches. Chicago whooped y'all's asses.
They're kind of eating shit.
I watched that game.
But
because-
you know, it's a different Steelers than it used to be.
I don't want to talk about football this week.
Oh,
RJ's
the Bills.
Bills gave them a run.
You know it's bad when like one of the angriest people on Twitter that I follow who constantly types in all caps goes, "Man, I don't really care about charity cases, but those Bills." That's paraphrasing. I can't remember the exact quote, but man,
those Bills.
that was disappointing.
At least we got to win.
You got anything else, Dustin? As you look at your phone and not at this microphone?
You said phone.
I'm thinking.
twice.
I was looking through the last couple of days of information to see if I could figure out anything else. But no, I don't think there's really anything else. Did we do anything yesterday?
You're making a big ass sign.
Oh yeah, I'm making a big ass Slashplayed sign. But that was kind of a side thing. But yeah,
it's a thing that's happening.
What? Well, I'd like to get it on Fuck You and Friends because it is a live stream.
Right.
Like it's a live video stream.
And they're finally going to start like actually recording it and archiving it and stuff.
Yeah, and so it would be nice. It would be nice that
we're taking all the porn out of it
for the 5 minutes that we're actually there.
Listen, we're not trying to send people to jail, Keith.
Yeah, well, for the 5 minutes we're actually there and participating in what we're supposed to be participating.
Oh
in.
no, we're there for like 15 minutes.
Because we're there for a good chunk of the time. If we're not there on screen, we're there off screen the whole time.
I mean, yeah, I was on the show for about half of it, but the way that our segment usually goes is it's supposed to be like a 15-minute segment where we talk back and forth with them, and instead it becomes a 14 minutes and 30 seconds of him talking and 30 seconds of us.
Right. Well, I don't know. We got a good chunk out of Saints Row 4, but Dive Kick was kind of a bust.
Dive Kick kind of.
It's hard to talk
flat.
about. It's hard to talk about with people because it doesn't have a following.
That's not true.
It doesn't have a previous following. There's no. It's not Dive Kick 2.
Yeah. Nope.
Damn.
Nope.
Anyway, it's too late.
I'm not doing that for you.
I'm mad you're not.
I'm not
asshole.
doing that for you.
Yeah, you're.
No, that's your thing. You keep it.
No.
I'll bring up a sequel for you.
Keep
I thought
it
it
in
would
your
have been
pants.
I thought it would have been a great team
Nope.
effort.
Nope. This is not a team building exercise.
I don't want RJ to just sit in his chair and just go.
RJ would have been really, really mad.
She's gonna sit here and continue to grumble.
Anyway,
Grumble.
so yeah, I'm working on a big Slashplayed sign. It looks like the Facebook
Thing.
symbol. Yeah, the logo that we've got put up.
The hat logo too that are
and-
not available for purchase.
They are available for purchase.
If you go,
If you want to bring us
No,
$25,
you bring us $25 and we will make you that hat. It'll take a day, but as
And-
long as it's not a weekend.
and then we won't ship it to you.
you have to
gotta
come
come
find
get
us. You have to come track
Yeah,
our
no,
asses down.
it's kind of a pain in the ass, but we'll do it. Also, you have to get us a general color and hat style.
Yeah.
But they're all individual customs, so that's cool.
OCC dog.
No.
Original custom colors. I don't know where you're going with that.
Orange County chop. Whatever.
Nope. Definitely not that. We are not putting our shit on motorcycles.
Nope.
Yet.
Yet.
I will get this shit tattooed to my ass. No, not to my ass.
Oh.
Maybe to my foot. I'd get it tattooed to my foot.
Said
That'd
it
be
on the
pretty
podcast.
badass.
Dustin's getting
it's
it
almost
tattooed on his
legally
ass.
binding.
No, I didn't get.
Well, it's
I
only
didn't get
legally
the whole-
binding if we put it on a USB stick and then mail it to ourselves.
Right.
And then we have the copyright for it, too.
Right.
That's how that works.
That's how one of the bands I was in. That's how we got the copyright for our own songs.
I'm pretty sure that's not how that actually works.
It is.
That is
Well,
how that
okay.
works.
It's federal.
You're federal.
It's federal postage, so
Okay.
it's considered legally binding.
Did you do anything else?
No.
Okay.
No, I can pretty solidly say no.
Keith, what's up?
Ooh, I got blackout curtains today.
Great.
Yeah, so now my
your grandma
now my
made them?
room is a cave. No, she just bought some on sale
Oh, cool.
and then sent them to me and was like, "I know these aren't a color that you particularly like because they were like baby blue, but she was like, but if you take them to Kohl's, they'll just return them and you can switch them out, fair trade." And I was like, "Oh, cool,
Stop
sweet."
telling people secrets on the internet that can be tracked back to us.
No, I mean it's not a secret.
I mean,
They just
that's
do
a
it.
hey, I don't want this color, and then you get another.
Yeah,
one.
you just get another color.
Fine.
Because did she get you a gift receipt?
No,
Oh, I was just
you don't
like,
need one if it's fair trade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gift receipts are the shit.
So
Yeah,
what you're
they're pretty
saying
boss-
is
they're pretty
you're,
boss.
you're all about your free trade,
I
like
didn't say free
open
trade.
range, corn-fed, blackout curtains,
Yeah.
organically grown.
Or definitely organically grown blackout curtains.
All right.
I had to get a
Fucking-
rod though. That's why I was gone forever.
Fucking factory farm blackout curtains, man.
Yeah.
Never shopped at Walmart.
Nope. So hey Keith, what's up?
So I spilt like 250-degree water on my hand today at work.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
On purpose, I'm sure.
no, I was pissed.
What's up with your store and people burning themselves?
I don't know, man. But
All the time.
all the time.
And mostly on their hands.
Yep. I was calibrating the coffee machine, and then it started brewing.
Okay. Yeah, that's bad. You're Garrus trying to modify your weapon systems, and you just went calibrating. Oh god!
So I hit this button with my hand right here.
See, people don't necessarily understand that because the coffee, like industrial coffee machines, are just hooked into a plumbing system.
Yeah, a plumbing system that just pumps hot water in.
Yeah, so don't put your fucking hand there.
Nope.
It'll be real bad.
Nope. I did not have the cup in the appropriate place to catch the hot water.
Caution, hot.
No shit.
Fuego!
Yeah, that warning on that cup's never meant more to me. So that happened. The band's still kind of plugging away. I had a chance to watch part of the Baltimore Ravens game at work because I kept sneaking into the crew room. My excuse was my drink was in there. Totally works. What else I do this week? I bought a new pickup for my guitar because I like gain and awesomeness, and forgot I didn't have a soldering iron. So yeah,
Yep.
I pulled the back cover off my guitar and just stared at the wiring, and then I was just like, "Fuck." And my mom was like, "What?" And I was like, "I don't have a soldering iron." She was like, "I don't know what that means." So I was like,
"Well, yeah, that's accurate." That's your mom.
See, I'm pretty sure you said words that are in English, but
So I posted on Facebook. Anybody
it's all
that
pops
has
and whistles over here.
I posted on Facebook. Anybody that has a soldering iron and some solder, get at me because I need to borrow 'em. And my dad commented on it, and he was like, he said something along the lines of, "I don't know what you did, but this post really scares me."
What did you do, Ray?
And it was just one of those things where I was just like, "Oh, nothing." And then I got home and explained the situation. He was like, "Yeah, I kind of figured." But that kind of bummed me out because I was hoping to have the guitar, like, because we had band practice yesterday, and I was hoping to have the new pickup in it and everything during band practice yesterday. So when I showed up to band practice without a guitar, they were just
At band practice?
Yes.
Okay.
Band practice.
Okay.
When I showed up to that event without a guitar, everyone was just like, "Hey, Keith, where's your guitar?" And I was like, "It's at home," and like 3 separate pieces. And they're just like, "Huh."
That's inconvenient.
Yep. And
So
then,
you want to borrow mine?
no, luckily I leave my other guitar at Greg's. Everybody just kind of forgot.
Gotcha.
So I just bumped to the back room, grabbed my other guitar, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, that's nice."
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah, that's lucky. Yeah, so that happened. I was
Gotta turn stuff off.
Hey, look at that. I was pretty bummed out about that. I bummed around on Steam a little bit. I finally got my account out of the negative because I got paid. And my work schedule is about to get really stupid.
Right.
Because we're losing a manager, and because another one of the stores in our company needs a manager.
Yep.
So now I got to start like opening and closing, which means I'm going to either work really early or really late.
It'd be really awesome if you could stagger that work schedule properly and manage to get off on Tuesday nights.
No, she wants to get off on Wednesdays and just work Tuesday mornings.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Tuesday night.
Yeah, that'd be convenient, but
That shit'll never happen.
yeah,
no.
because one of the problems with my schedule is I'm the only one that does trucks.
Yeah.
And trucks come 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
So, 2 times a week, depending on how the truck schedule staggers, because we get one every 3 days.
Right.
So I'm guaranteed to work at least 2 nights, plus the openings and closings. And because it's every 3 days, the trucks literally just like tick down days because there's 7 days in a week. So
Wait, what?
yeah, man.
Since when?
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
But like today, or we got a truck on Sunday, which means we get one tomorrow, which means we get one Saturday, which means we get one so on and so forth. So at least I have those days relatively affirmed. It's just the rest of them where my manager is going to make my schedule, and it's literally just going to be wherever she can stick me to help fill the void.
Yeah. So expect delays or early podcast, depending on how that works
Depending
out.
on how that fucking works out. Trust, I'm not enthused.
It's going to go one way or the other.
But it was bound to happen.
It'll probably be delayed,
Most likely.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll still try and land it on Tuesdays as much as we can, but...
Right. But here's the bright side to that, though. When I do get trucks, I usually get off at 9. So.
Okay, well, you know.
So,
That
like...
shit ain't horrible.
Yeah, so, like, because today I got off at 9. We didn't have a truck, but I got off at 9, and now I'm here. So,
Right.
So those won't be too bad. It's just basically guaranteeing, like, if it's a Wednesday I get a truck, I'm not going to go downtown.
Right.
So I'm going to either go home and sleep or go to somebody that lives relatively close to me and sleep.
Yeah.
Because even the nights I do trucks and then I come here for the podcast, I'm just so dead. Because 8 times out of 10 I have to do it by myself.
You are usually chugging a Red Bull at that point.
Oh, yeah. I had to forego the Red Bull tonight because I feel relatively chipper. I don't have as much energy as last week, but...
Well, last week we were all on, fucking 11 for some reason.
Yeah, last week I was on... I'm just going to go... I was on speed.
That's more like an 8.5.
I wanted to not yell directly into the center
No,
of the
I can
mic.
respect that. I'm still... Don't please don't deep throat the microphone.
He just breathed on it, and it was like, I'm counting levels! Oh, God.
So you can all be mad at Keith for that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm a little... I'll pick up, but I just woke up from a nap.
I'm going to call Keith Altitude, because he likes to constantly make people's ears pop.
Yeah!
Boom.
I'm going to call you the bad joke maker guy, because that was terrible.
That's what I do, yeah, no, that's what I try.
Okay.
Also, yeah!
Also, yeah. Fucking I didn't do anything this week. I applied for more jobs.
Oh, fun. How's that going?
Poorly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want a hug about it?
No, I want a paycheck about it.
I'll give you $1.
That could... No.
No.
I'll buy you beer.
Hey, you guys, you should start sending... I don't know. No.
Donations!
If you had a car, it would help a lot more.
Well, yeah, but then I would have more bills, and then...
Only a little.
My life is a vicious cycle.
Yeah. I mean, life in general is a vicious cycle.
So yeah, I didn't do much. I played more Grand Theft Auto. I also started playing State of Decay, which recently came out on Steam.
Cool.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good on Xbox.
So hey, let's just kick,
it's got a few bugs.
let's just kick
from what
over
I've
into
seen, but-
playing or talking about games, because here's a transition.
Yeah.
State of Decay.
Solid.
Did that game ever come out on PlayStation, or was that an Xbox?
I think it was an Xbox Live game.
I think
it
you're
was
right.
pretty exclusively an Xbox Live game, but I couldn't confirm that.
Well,
At least not without the internet. I know my little brother played it for a while. He was definitely on the ball on that one.
Yeah, Xbox Live Marketplace, and
And
now
PC.
as of this week, so technically it's early access, and by early access they mean, see the way that it's listed.
Not all the bugs are worked out yet.
Well, no, well yes, but the way that it's listed is it says that it doesn't have a keyboard and mouse interface, but you can still play that game with a keyboard and mouse. It just seems like it kind of got to guess at what you're doing. Because I accidentally bumped my mouse and moved my keyboard at one point, and my reticule and dude moved, and I went, oh, so this does actually kind of work. Interesting. But I've been playing with a 360 controller, and it's been fine.
Yeah, because you'd want to.
Yeah. So that game is a zombie survival game.
Yeah. No,
And
it really
it's
is.
probably the best one that I've seen, because it is open world, and you literally have to go out to houses to scavenge supplies to bring back to whatever base you have. Certain members of the populace that you have survived / are living in your base camp will go out and spawn random missions, and there are some major storyline missions that will sit around and wait for you to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But people will just die in that game.
Yeah,
and sometimes is kind of sporadic. I was sort of pissed off because one of the guys in the game is Pastor Will or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets this special ability at one point where over time, as you're exploring, your stamina slowly chunks down.
Right.
So the longer you're out there, the less stamina you have available to you overall.
Do you have to wait 24 hours for your stamina to recover?
It's
I think you
not
have to sleep or something.
Yeah, you have to. So you can switch out characters when someone becomes your friend at camp. You can switch out, and they can become your playable character. So the way your friendship builds up is if you do missions and go out and sync up with them, their meter will increase.
Can you invite friends on Facebook to send you more lives?
No,
That's where I was more going with the stamina thing.
no.
Well,
So
this game's shit.
yeah, fuck you. So Pastor Will got sick, and one of the dudes put him down at one point, which was a real dick move on his
I can't
part.
do it.
Yeah, no, he could apparently.
Apparently could.
So he had an ability that was hey, while you're out in the field, we can send you some inspiring words or something, and it'll remax your stamina. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. And then before I got to use it, they went, boo, and put him down. And I was like, that's a thing that I wanted, you dick bags. So certain characters will have different attributes. I currently have a person who I recently saved, who if I spend influence, which is a resource you get by bringing stuff back, it's your money equivalent by bringing stuff back to base, or by stashing weapons that you're not going to use, or ammo that you're not going to use, or painkillers or food or whatever. You gain influence that way.
What are the painkillers called?
Painkillers, codeine, tussin. Not even Robitussin, just tussin.
So they...
Acetaminophen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're actually painkillers.
Yeah, and they have varying levels of effect. Methadone.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, man.
So State of Decay can do it, but Fallout can't?
Apparently.
That's bullshit.
What's really cool about this game is it was really not a big... I mean, it wasn't a big release. It was on Xbox Live.
It's a $20 game.
It's a $20 game. But this game has done zombie survival...
The best I've seen.
The best I've ever seen. And hands down, if you want to play a game that would accurately simulate... common zombie theory, basically. It works really well.
It falls a lot more into the, like... They're not fast zombies, they will run at you, but...
Yeah, I mean,
it falls more in the, 28 Days Later universe where,
Runners.
hey, people are trying to lock down a place, people are sending people out to go get supplies. It is not, Day of the Dead or whatever, where you are...
just waves of zombies.
Yeah, where you are, fighting to an end location. It's not Resident Evil. It is, we're trying to lock this area down and just fucking make it.
It's more like... It's more like actual human interaction with zombies. Like,
right.
If you had a zombie apocalypse and they were slow, like, bumbling zombies, old school Dawn of the Dead style zombies.
Right.
It's very much like, okay, this zombie it doesn't see me. It's like kind of stumbling around,
and you can
sneak
up on it,
and you can sneak up on it, because they're
no,
really dumb.
You grab it by the back of the head and like just full slam its face into the ground, and its head explodes. No, it's third person.
But if you get its attention and you make it angry, it will be like, and it will fucking come for you.
So
and then if you fire weapons, they make noise.
Noise is a factor.
Noise is a huge factor. And they will, and hordes of zombies will come after you.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are things that are technically labeled as hordes, which are groups of like 8 to 12 or something that will shamble around in packs.
Okay.
And like have a cone of awareness, and it's like you haven't
clicks.
alerted a zombie; you've alerted the entire group. And I've gotten one character to a point where he can literally just deal with a horde, but he'll get knocked down to like half life. But he's like a fully maxed out character. Also, your characters progress.
Yeah,
cool.
So,
which you would.
So you have your main character who's
they do it smart. Did they do it smart?
Yeah.
Like
So
the longer you survive in this pseudo post-apocalyptica, you
hey, the more you run, the higher your cardio gets.
It's very Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I was talking about then.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It's not like a level system.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about more of it basically would wrap up to like the Grand Theft Auto system. Hey, you run, you get stamina, but more or less, they hide it behind this veil of you've been living a certain time in this world, and now you're adapting to it more.
Well, sure,
you
it's kind of like
skills within the world. And
so there is
you learned how to use a flint.
Well, there is some specialization where it's like there is fighting, which is a base stat that everybody's got. There's cardio, which is a base stat that everybody's got. There's wits, that's a base stat that everybody's got, and that affects how quickly you can like search through stuff without breaking it or making a lot of noise. And again, getting back to noise real quick, noise is a huge factor. Like if you break a window, that causes noise. If you're driving a car, it makes a big area around you.
Now on your
also light. If you turn your flashlight on, they will see that.
On your is there a radar of some sort?
Yes.
On that radar, it kind of gives you like an indication of how much noise you're making.
Yeah, it gives you a radius around you.
Yeah, so it's very much Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Well, sure.
Yes.
Okay, but it's not exact. In that it is a combination of sound. So I would assume that it is exact in the sound if something were not looking at you. But when you are sneaking, you are crouched down. You are lumbering around and you are sneaking. Whereas when you are up and running, you are up. You are running. You are breathing heavily because you are running.
So when you're making footsteps,
your thing will pulse out more. Yeah. Well, it makes just a constant circle, but yes, it depicts that.
Okay.
Where it's just like. and you're a very obvious target. So if they turn around, they see, hey, there's a person moving. Whereas if you're crouching down, like they are more likely to notice you if they are looking at you. Obviously,
just out of curiosity, who developed this game?
Give me a second. Undead Labs.
Oh, okay.
So some company. Okay, well, no, yeah, this is their first release under that name.
Okay.
They seem to be working on an MMO now.
Oh, great.
Zombie based.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So anyway,
because we still need a good one of those.
I agree.
So
because World War Z never came out.
So
still working on
it. Getting back to like fighting and stuff. Fighting is a base stat.
Mm-hmm.
The more fighting you do, I believe it increases your damage, but it also increases your hit points.
Okay. You're more resilient.
Right. And after you reach a certain tier, there are talents basically in the game.
Okay.
You will reach a certain tier and you can specialize. You can specialize in blunt weapons, blade weapons, or heavy weapons like shovels and sledgehammers and shit.
So there's no tree for firearms?
There is a tree for firearms, but that's completely different. That is shooting. That is not fighting.
It's a different base stat.
Yeah.
Okay. Or a different stat.
Yeah,
right.
and there's actually a choice that you have to make where at every skill maxes out at 7, and when you get to 7, you can pick the specialized skill for that.
Right.
But there are 5 specialized skills as long as you have all 5 of the things, but you only get to pick one of them.
So you have to seriously make a decision on which one you want to pick.
Can you respec at any point?
No,
that's
it
good.
Really doesn't seem like it.
That's good.
So
they make you commit.
Yeah. For my main guy that I play as mostly, I fucking was like, all right, he got his fighting up. I made him a blade weapon person because it increases your % chance to just straight up decapitate a fool, which is why he can walk at hordes of zombies and just go buck-ass wild with a broadsword that I found.
Yeah.
I found a falchion and a broadsword, and I went, all right, okay.
Looks like I'm doing blade weapons.
As opposed to this, well, no, this was after I committed to blade weapons because
convenient.
it was like hatchets and shit, and then I ended up finding this thing, and I was like
a woodcutter axe,
and then I was like,
whoa. That reminds me of when my melee character on a fucking Dead Island, I was like using like machetes and shit like that, and then I came across a morning star, and I was like, oh fuck yeah. So I started like braining zombies with a morning star. It was awesome.
Yeah, but I just searched this one in the house, and it's like, here's a falchion. I was like, here's a what?
Do the weapons and stuff have like
yes.
stats and trees on them?
So they have individual weight. Encumbrance is a thing.
Okay.
The amount of weight different people can carry is a thing.
If you're gonna do survival horror,
it's got to. Yeah.
That's what always made Resident Evil so stressful.
And they seem to
you have like 3 pockets.
I can't really tell if damage is so much a thing, but durability is definitely a thing. Weapons will break on you, but you can also take so I had to look this up. You can repair the weapons by taking them back to your safe house and putting them in your locker, and after a certain amount of time, they will just repair, and you can pull them back out. Okay. As long as you have a workshop. So that's the other. So I'll get to that. So yeah, my dude at this point can.
I'm assuming this this game has some kind of I guess you could say like base building elements.
A little bit, yeah. It is. I'll get to that. So my dude can now like walk into an entire horde of zombies and just like decapitate fools, and like go down to like half health and just pop pills and go on. So another interesting thing, getting back to inventory real quick, is backpacks and stuff.
Okay.
You have different size backpacks. Okay.
So
So you start off with a small backpack, and then
it's a list. So it's like, is it like slot?
It is slot based.
Slot and encumbrance.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's not Resident Evil Tetris. Each thing just takes up a slot. Certain things stack,
well,
like
depends
bullets.
on the Resident Evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bullets will stack like up to 30.
Right. Because that always bugged me about
medicine and food will stack up to like 4 or 5.
That always bugged me about like games like Dead Island again, where like they tout like the survival horror aspect of it, which is great, which is fine. But then your inventory is completely weight based, and it's just a list.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit how much poundage you can carry. You don't have enough pockets for that much shit.
Right.
You know.
I think it would be really cool if they added in a function where it's like, you only have this many pockets, you can only carry this much stuff, but then it's like, oh, you found a strap for your gun, and so now you can strap it on,
and it doesn't take up a
and
slot.
it doesn't take up
I mean,
a slot.
that might still be a thing.
No, I don't. I mean, like in the future, that would just be a cool thing for zombie games, like practical things.
Yeah, like, hey, you found a piece of rope. You can choose to either tie it to your gun to make a pseudo sling
Uh-huh.
or stuff like that.
Or you found a shooting vest, so now you can carry more ammo.
Right.
You like. Or, like you fucking raided a dead police officer and took his utility belt.
Also, I would like to see...
And that unlocks this talent tree to use pepper spray.
I would like to see at least some actual change in what you're wearing when you're doing it. Because there's like
that always bothered me.
Like, it always bugs me.
Says the guy who complains about people in GTA 5 changing their clothes.
Well, I don't like it when they do it on their own.
Dude, funny fucking story. Because I gotta tell it now.
Okay.
I broke my rule when I was watching a buddy of mine play GTA 5.
Uh-huh.
But she promised she wasn't going to do any story missions just for my sake.
Sure.
So
I wouldn't do them if you wanted to watch.
Yeah, she jumped to Trevor. And when she jumped
He's
to
so
Trevor,
funny.
he was like halfway up a mountain wearing a dress. And like he stood up and was drunk as shit. And just started stumbling down
He was
the
wearing a
mountain.
dress?
He was wearing a dress. Like a pink flower dress.
Jumping to Trevor is probably the funniest thing in
It's
that
definitely
game.
the funniest thing in that
Because I, at one
Did
point...
you get the scooter?
No.
Oh my
Did you get Trevor drunk on the side of a bridge?
Yes. Yes, I did.
At one point I jumped to Trevor and he is literally like on like a walkway part, like where there would be a railing on the side of a bridge, just like laying on top of the railing part, like a big concrete railing, in his underwear.
Yeah.
And he just wakes up there. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
In that same gameplay session, she had to jump back to Franklin for something, and then when she jumped back to Trevor was like in the middle of a police chase, like through like the woods.
They will
and shit.
continue to commit petty crimes.
Yeah. And then she was just like, okay, switching back to Franklin.
Get the hell out of here. Not worth my time.
I don't want to deal with that.
So,
Because
yeah.
he already had like 3 stars.
Yeah. So, base building. Where you are located is very important.
Okay.
Because you start off in you start off at a church, which I guess is
like you do.
like you do. And eventually there's a point in the game where it's like, we're kind of getting a lot of people, and there are like morale issues at the base where like somebody's scared, you take them out on a walk to go kill some zombies. Somebody's angry, they take them out on a walk to kill some zombies. And then there will just be like random pop-ups like, crisis of faith, this person is sad, and your group will just take morale hits. And I've never let my morale get super low. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen if anything buck-ass wild happens.
Like somebody just goes in the back of the church and blows their own head off.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, though.
So, I mean, it might happen. So, I recently moved from the church that I was in, like, completely across the map to this, like, warehouse that was going on. And I fortified the warehouse as my new base. And the other thing is that your base is... So, I had to have a minimum population... Jesus Christ. I had to have a minimum population to even reestablish somewhere else, and I had to have a certain amount of building materials to reestablish somewhere else.
To build the fortifications.
Right. So the nice thing is that anything that you've built up at the previous place,
You just take with you.
well, the basic level I think will transfer over.
Cool.
So it'll come over, and then you have to like spend like 1 point of influence. And wait a minute. Also, things happen in real time. Like I had to build a new area for bunks, and then I had to upgrade the bunks to proper beds, and it takes like 30 minutes to lay out cots, and then it takes like an hour on top of that to upgrade them from cots to beds before they actually come into effect.
Oh, cool.
And-
like they're doing a lot right.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's nuts.
How much is this?
$20.
$20.
I'm gonna pick that shit up when I get home.
So yeah,
I'm
so
really intrigued
You
now.
you will really enjoy it.
this won't affect you, but if anybody's so you can pick it up on Xbox. Obviously, you'll have few concerns other than the normal bugs there. If you're planning on picking it up on Steam right now, the disclaimer is that it is early access. You will need a 360 controller to get the interface options. This won't be a problem for you, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, and it's not like it is a slot based base building thing where you have this number of spots.
Choose wisely.
Pretty much. So, like, you can build a garden and it'll automatically generate food for you. Or you can build a dining area so that people can eat together, which will, like lessen...
Raise morale.
Yeah.
Raise morale, lessen the number of times that somebody is scared or angry or whatever.
Cool.
You have to build a certain number of bunks, basically. You want to keep your bunks up to the number of people you have because, while you can, hot cot a situation... if you don't have enough beds, people will just constantly be tired. And you can take people with you on missions, which costs like 100 influence per person. Sometimes you talk to a person, it's just like, this person won't accompany you. And it's like, reason is, won't. And like it's kind of shitty. But if somebody is injured or tired, they won't come out with you.
Okay.
So if you don't have enough beds and people are constantly tired, you're going to be fucking on your own forever.
Can you pull, like, when you take somebody on a mission? Does that like free up a bed?
I think so. I don't know, honestly.
Because I mean, I could live with like one person hot cotting and then
right.
just cycle out the people I take out
right.
just to let them get some shut eye.
Mm-hmm. And it is interesting. They do restrict you like a legitimate amount because it's like you have somebody on guard duty up in your tower to make sure zombies aren't hopping over the fences. You got people who are sleeping. You have a radio operator who can get in contact with other people. So when you're out scavenging and stuff, if you find a location and you search everything, you can call for runners to come out and pick shit up out of the area to pick up the resources. And there are 4 different resources. There's fuel, building materials, food, and medical supplies. And you want to stay stocked up on all of them. Also, you have to build a stockpile, or else you can only keep a certain amount of supply. Like, this thing's kind of got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
again, it's really thorough.
And getting back to inventory stuff real quick, when you pick up supplies, you personally can only pick up one thing because you're grabbing like a rucksack and you're throwing it on top of everything else.
Okay.
So you've got your backpack and you can load it up, and then you throw this thing on top of it, and then basically your job at that point is to run it back to base because it eats at your stamina real fucking quick, and it actually slows down your animations because you're having to deal with this big hulking pack on your back.
I know how that feels.
So it's cool. There's a lot of stuff going on. One of the few things that pisses me off is that they have special zombies, and I think special zombies are played out.
Yeah. Every single time, like that's what made like that Walking Dead shooter game so meh to me, is that there wasn't any special zombies. It was just you're constantly berated with fucking zombies. I think if you're gonna do them, you need to limit them. At this point.
Okay, so I can understand this. There are armored zombies, which are dudes who used to be SWAT members.
I was gonna say zombies wearing cones on their head.
No.
Oh.
No, but metal buckets.
Metal buckets.
Yeah. I can understand. Yeah. I can understand
making armor out of trash cans.
I can understand the special zombie, like, hey, this dude was a SWAT officer, he's still in SWAT gear. That makes sense. What I can't understand is, like, the screamers who don't have arms but yell real loud and are super disorienting, and you want to kill them right away because A, they draw attention, and B, every time they scream, they, like, cause you to knock back for a couple of seconds and not be able to do anything. And I also don't understand super huge zombies or feral zombies, which are like basically like leapers or whatever they were from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I can understand it a little bit. I can understand like you want this zombie to be more difficult, but
or at least add some variety.
Yeah, it's a little played.
Yeah, like I said, if you're gonna do it, and you do it sparingly, Like, hey, like, in your travels, you discovered, like, a medical research facility.
Right.
And just one of the dead dudes in there happened to stumble and fall into, like, a vat of fucking shit and came out like Superman zombie.
Yeah, but like one or two here and there. Not like, oh, this is just an encounter in this area now.
Yeah. Hey, there's a screamer and a spitter and a tank.
Yeah.
And the tank's mama. Super tank.
Super tank. Super tank. Oh, I had something else that I wanted to say real quick. Fuck, what was it? All right, whatever. This game's really cool, and I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. You have me intrigued.
Cool. My paycheck, I'm sure, is in the mail.
I hope so, because I've yet to get paid for this.
Shut up.
You owe me. You owe me. You owe me back royalties. I will take you to court.
Yeah, okay.
This is our intellectual
property.
Oh,
so there's also like houses. That was what I was going to get to. I'll get to that in a second. There are houses that are infested, so you can go out and clear out the infestations.
Are they zombie cockroaches?
No, they've just like got a bunch of dudes in the place. Oh, also, if hordes become too prevalent, they'll start like walking at your base, so you have to like go around and take them out. You know what I recommend?
Cars,
truck. Get in the truck.
Well, yeah, a truck.
Because the herd.
Because the F-250 Super Duty equivalent that's in the game, the like big ass 4-door truck, just fuck shit up. It's just like oh, you're an entire horde.
That's my favorite thing in DayZ was like to find like an APC or something and just go cruising down the highway.
Yeah, because
zombies like here.
So they can't jump on doors and stuff, and you have a door attack to like shove them off eventually. And if you don't hit them at
QTE?
No.
Okay.
It's just jam the button to slam the door open and shut.
So you can do it without a zombie on there? You're just sitting there like
yes,
flinging the doors open?
You can sleeping dog style just ride down the road with your head poked out.
Yeah, you can completely door them.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I'm telling you, dude, this game is really awesome.
And if you don't hit zombies at a high enough speed, they will like latch onto the front of your car, so you have to stop, and they will pop off, and then you can back up and run them over.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally getting this game now.
I've also at one
Fuck
point...
stealth, I'm buying a truck.
Yeah. Well, you don't buy trucks, you find them.
Well, I'm going to steal a truck.
Yeah, you are. Oh, and the other nice thing is that...
if there's nobody there to complain.
Is that if you have a high enough level workshop, your cars on top of your guns will slowly get repaired over time.
Nice.
So you literally park them in a parking spot, and they will just regenerate.
And you take it to rim jobs.
It takes
put NOS and spinners.
No, you just put kneecappers on it. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
So at one point, I had a dude riding in the back of one of my trucks, and he wasn't getting the zombie, or he got the zombie off. But then I drove through the group, and another one got on, and they had like torn the door out, and the zombie reached inside and grabbed him out of the seat.
Oh shit!
And he went like flailing onto the ground.
Was he dead?
No, I managed to back up, kill everything, pick him up in the truck, and get him home. But he was injured and had to sit out for a while. He had to take a time out.
Oh,
I wish there was an option to like wear leather and motorcycle helmets, because
And just chains.
And yeah, because I would just
you just
I'd be
road rash.
fucking invincible.
You just
straight
road
up road rash.
Road rash the fuck out of those.
Well, so your cars do take damage over time as you hit things. You can also set up outposts after you've cleared a house out, and you can set up booby traps. So if a horde goes walking down the street and they walk across the booby trap, there's just a big ass explosion.
Sweet.
And it fucking kills them, and it's awesome. Also, it clears out, and so around areas that you have fully searched, there becomes a safe area where it's like, there are no zombies here, and it'll last for a limited amount of time. If you make it an outpost, that becomes permanent. So if you set up your outpost correctly, you can just create a lined area that you can just like walk through free and clear.
Okay.
Or like leapfrog in between.
Right.
The one last thing that I'm going to talk about is there's surveying that you can do. So you can climb up to the top of a fucking cell phone tower. And well, no, you will physically, you will, and then you will dive into a bale of hay or the conveniently placed dumpster next to you. No. You will actually look at an area, and there will be a question mark over it, and then this ring will fill up around, and it's like, that's that place, that's a roving horde. That's and like, it's not all houses. It's like, this is a construction site, or this is a market, or this is a gun shop, or this is a warehouse, and you can kind of like get a sense of where things probably are. Like houses are mostly food, sometimes medical supplies, sometimes building supplies.
Gun shop's obviously guns.
Gun shop is obviously guns. I found a grenade for a grenade launcher. I've yet to find a grenade launcher. So
figure it out.
Big things popping. Oh, and then there's other shit where it's like you can get alarm clocks and shit, like egg timers, and throw them places, and it'll distract zombies, or flares to distract zombies, or firecrackers to distract. Like,
things that make sense.
Like
in real world situations.
Can you knock on walls?
No.
That'd be
fucking
cool.
up, man.
But then that would just bring them towards you. You don't want that.
No, what you do is
you
it
knock
has
on the wall
it has
and
a
then you
stealth
walk
mechanic,
around.
right?
Well,
you knock on a wall and you ninja.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Yeah. So this game's got a lot of shit going on. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've played like 8 hours of it already instead of playing Grand Theft Auto.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, I mean,
or in
he's
tangent with playing
it. He's had the option to either sit here and play Grand Theft Auto and be at the end of the game.
Shut up. I corrected myself. So GTA 5, do we have anything else we want to talk about?
3 days, $1 billion. Take that, Black Ops.
That's news. We're getting there. You're fucking it up.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay. I find the heists a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. The only thing that I have even a remote issue with in that game is the lack.
Fucking tow truck missions.
No, I don't even dislike the tow truck mission, because honestly, it's no different than having a damn big rig and having to manipulate, which is actually pretty cool, because you have to manipulate an 18-wheeler like an 18-wheeler, so you have to appropriately turn your truck so that way the cargo goes in the correct direction when you're moving it. If you have to back up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, how semis work.
Yeah, semis. I mean, period.
So instead, I just drive in big-ass circles until I get back around to the direction that I want to face.
I'd be pro at that. You know how many hours I put into Euro Truck Simulator?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, the only
too many.
A disappointing number.
I only have one pet peeve with that game, and that's I found the soundtrack kind of lacking.
Yeah,
There's no metal station.
They're
That's
like,
Well, there's no metal station.
they're like, we've got 18 stations and each of them have 5 songs.
Yeah, I like their old school like West Coast classics rap station.
I like that they start
It's-
that game on that station just to
Yeah.
be like, yo, we've got NWA in this game.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And
Is Cop
it's
Killer on there?
It's like, of course you do.
It's a solid-
don't know.
I mean, it's got a
That'd be
solid
funny.
few songs, like a really, really good, like Gin and Juice.
With my mind on my money, on my money, on my money.
Yeah, man. Sweet.
That NWA song,
Anyway,
that other NWA song,
and
it's got that hot Kendrick Lamar joint
and
on
it's
it.
got like
Different channel, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's on.
I've still yet to find the dubstep station, so
There's-
Saints Row is fucking taking it as
well,
far
I mean,
as music goes.
there's like a little, but that's the thing. It's like there are some good solid songs on there, but even then, it's like there are these good solid songs, but then there are only like 5 of them per station.
So I've got a bigger pet peeve than
so
Dustin.
it's-
I got a pretty big
I'm
one,
not
too.
surprised.
The one radio station that I like cuts out outside of Los Santos. Fucking talk radio station. You can't listen to it across the entire
I actually
map.
really think that's awesome.
I think it's really
It
awesome
pisses
too.
me the hell off.
Because that's
think
like
it's
me
really
when
cool,
I'm
too.
listening to 105 on the way to Jacksonville,
Yep.
and then that shit cut, or not on the way to fucking Greenville before they extended the range to Greenville.
I listen to
And I was
actual.
like, you sons of bitches.
I listen to actual talk
Pissed me
radio,
off.
and
I think that's awesome.
And
That's
when I go to
that's
work
a
and-
really subtle attention to detail.
Yeah,
Really
it's
subtle
really
thing
cool.
that pisses
You
me
really gotta
off.
appreciate it.
when
man.
I go 20 minutes up the road to my other job, like my AM radio station starts to cut out when I get there.
well, it's because you're
Uh,
listening to AM radio.
because
You're
I'm
doing
listening
it-
to AM.
You're doing it wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this is like a talk radio show, and that's what is
Usually
going
it's
out.
on the AM.
Yeah, and that's what's going out for him, and that's really awesome to me.
You're listening to 980 AM in the PM with the wolf. Oh.
Tree dog.
Anyways, so the other
Free ball.
thing that I found kind of, so the Strangers and Freaks missions are largely great.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard.
Largely, but not
a couple of them.
exclusively.
A couple of them have gotten to a point where it's like, hey, there are these areas where you can go and do stuff. I'm like, I don't fucking want to do that even a little bit. So, but a lot of them. But there's like, you don't have to do it at that point. They become static points on your map, and
Right.
you can just not do them. I accidentally drove through one at one point. That was a paparazzi mission that ended up being okay because it was like, hey, just follow this police chase. And it was one of the best driving experiences I've had in a long time because like the best driving experiences in like racing games and stuff is when you're in the thick of the pack.
You're bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, and what this allowed me to do is to be third place in a race that I didn't have to win.
There you go.
And that was a lot of fun.
There you go.
Also, you're playing as Franklin, so it's a lot of fun
I was gonna
because
say, I've heard
super
Franklin's,
control.
I've heard Franklin's kind of taking the cake as far as which player people prefer to play as.
he's pretty good. Well, I mean, he can just get around real easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the driving mechanic. He has the driving.
He has the
special.
driving mechanic.
He has the driving special. Like, it's. I really like their specials. I think they really work with the characters.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. When it gets down to a firefight, I want to play as Michael
Yeah.
because he's just got straight up bullet time,
Yeah.
and you're
He's
just
got-
like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, and then Trevor's really good if you just want to go stupid.
I had him. So no spoilers, but I had a mission earlier where snipers showed up, and it was like, "Quick, pull out your sniper rifle and get them before they get me." And I had this like full-on light machine gun, like 100-round, like belt-fed
Right.
clip and everything, and I was just like, and we talked about the sticky targeting, and I just aimed at one of them. And got all 4. Didn't have to pull out a sniper rifle.
There you go.
I was just like, they're a little too close because this sticky targeting still works. So and before he could get his sentence out about the sniper rifle, they were all dead already. I was like, yeah, don't have to do that.
Broke that dialogue.
But yeah, I've still been having a lot of fun with it. I've seen a lot of critiques about it, like it's a story that doesn't go anywhere. And I've tried to like not read a lot of critiques about it because I'm still playing it. And it's gotten to the point to me where it's like these guys aren't necessarily it's Heat. The entire game is Heat. Like the game is not supposed to be, hey, here are these characters and here's their nuanced background story and da 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 da. Like there is background between some of these characters, but the story is like the fucking shit they're going to pull off for the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
So
For the most part.
you know, I am often hypercritical and looking for shit that's not in games that, like, I feel needs to be there. But there's a certain point where I just look at this game and just, like, this is what they're going for. And they're kind of pulling it the fuck off.
Yeah, they're... Jesus, man. There's a lot of things about this game that are really, really well done for what they were shooting for. Or what they seem to have been shooting for.
And, I mean, even the character interaction, it's like, you know... Each of the 3 characters have their people that they interact with. Franklin's got, you know, Lamar and his aunt. And, you know, Michael's got his family, and Trevor's got his fucked up, like, associates. And
the ones that cook meth in the middle of the desert.
Ron and Wade. And
Wade.
Fucking Wade. Can you tell me a story, Trevor? I can, if you promise never to speak ever again. I like stories. Yeah. You got anything else you want to say about it?
No, it's a great game. I kind
of hate the submarines. They're sort of slow.
Oh yeah. Well, they're more like submersible vessels.
Yeah,
than they are submarines. I was expecting a full-fledged submarine, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
It was just like one of those yellow submersibles like that James Cameron has.
Also, landing helicopters is not easy.
Yeah, it's kind of a huge pain in the ass.
Helicopters
suck.
Helicopters are a little wonky.
But that's because they're helicopters, and helicopters in real life are pretty bonkers.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever ridden with a
No.
warrant officer pilot?
No, because he's good.
Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. They're good.
I remember-
I'm really bad at piloting a helicopter, and I never want to do it in real life because I have a feeling it would translate.
Scared the shit out of me. When we were first doing our ride-alongs, getting associated with being in a Black Hawk and stuff like that, he jerks up on the stick, which sends us into, like, a straight, like, upward climb in a helicopter, and then dumps the elevator and sends us in a free fall. So it was like riding the drop zone at the county fair, and I was just like, fucking shit,
Sounds about right.
And the chick in front of me was like, she grabbed her straps for her seat and was like stomping her feet and like staring at the ground and going, eee! And I was just like, oh my god, you're gonna kill us. And he fucking jerks the elevator and we go shooting across the fucking river.
That is so cool.
Yeah, dude, fucking army pilots are nuts. They got nothing better to do but fuck with the scrubs.
Apparently. Alright, Keith, you got a game you want to talk about?
Yeah, fucking, it's Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures.
Yeah, I saw that and I went, man, this seems pandering as shit.
No shit, right?
Is it pandering as shit?
Yep.
Okay. I know next to nothing about that guy.
It's actually, it's really difficult for all of the 4 hours it lasts.
Okay.
Which is a big shame because it's $15.
Well.
Fez is cheaper. Better platformer.
Whoa. Shots fired.
But
mainly because Fez becomes not a platformer, and that's not what it's about.
At a certain point in the game, like, yes, it's very pandering. If you are a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd, you will definitely enjoy it more so than a guy just going, this looks interesting. It's done in a...
I didn't think it looked interesting.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't even look at it. I saw sprites and I went, eh.
Yeah, it's done in a very retro style.
And then I saw a title with 4 different fonts and I went, nope.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's AVGN's logo.
Oh, okay.
And then Adventures put underneath it. Like, but, like, because he reviews, when it comes to, like, his AVGN segment, he does exclusively retro games. Each of the 8 levels kind of pull from retro 8 and 16-bit games. And,
of course, there's 8 levels.
Yes. If they haven't driven that point home enough.
Wait, is it levels or worlds?
No, like levels.
Oh.
Yeah, but they have good distance on them.
Okay.
There's checkpoints.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario's got checkpoints. What are you saying?
Those don't have good distance on them.
Well, we've also got more.
I beat the entire first Mario in like 15 minutes. Because you can do that.
Star Road! Wait.
Wrong Mario.
Oh, you mean the first Mario?
Yeah. Like,
okay, not Super Mario World, but
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking 18-bit platformer, and you have a gun, and you shoot things, and it's difficult. It's like really difficult. It's not.
It's Super Meat Boy difficult?
Nah, I think Super Meat Boy's still harder, but it's kind of pulling from the same kind of vein. The only difference is that because you have a gun, there's things that attack you and shit,
right? And
lasers that shoot at you. And
of course,
shit.
So how?
So you have to take out the things. Jesus. Just thinking about that and all the things all at once.
Yeah, like you have to like.
That's a good sentence, Dustin.
No, just I mean,
jumping
think about it.
Yeah, jumping to avoid obstacles and doing proper platforming while things are shooting at you and you are shooting back.
That's absurd.
Yeah, it gets.
I've played Assassin's Creed.
It gets kind of difficult at some points.
How tight are the controls?
They feel relatively good. They're not floaty. I was afraid they're going to be floaty because that basically kills like difficult platformers. As if like you hit the ground and you keep moving.
Okay,
you know, stuff like that. It's pretty.
So you're talking more momentum and less.
Yeah. It's tight. It's tight.
Talking more swimmy, less floaty.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But I guess the reason why I say it's not floaty is because when you jump, it's literally like jump down. Like
is it a defined arc? Can you? Is it pressure sensitive to how high you jump? I guess.
I mean, it's a PC game, so no, because mouse and keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I believe I didn't use it much because usually I just go for gold when I jump. But I believe the length of time you hold down the jump button kind of dictates the arc a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it should.
Yeah, it should.
Most platformers, especially brutal platformers, have some sort of arc difference.
And this is one of those platformers where at the end of a level, it gives you how many times you died. So expect to die a lot.
Like Cat Mario.
Like Cat Mario. You can get hit 3 times before you die. And your health indicator are Rolling Rock beers. For people that know AVGN, like when he's getting drunk and like raging on a video, he's always drinking Rolling Rock. So everybody
are they actual Rolling Rock or do they just look like them?
They just look like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green bottle, white and blue label.
White and blue label. Yep.
Okay.
And it's 8-bit, so you want to be able to distinguish it, even if they were just like, "Hey, Rolling Rock," and now it's, "Hey, blurry logo."
Yeah. Yep.
But the controls are tight. The levels I played was the Castlevania-esque level, which is fucking hard. They definitely
sounds like fun.
Yeah, they definitely went for broke on that one. And then the Metroid-esque level I played too. And if you watch a lot of AVGN's videos, he reviews Silver Surfer for the NES, which is a god-awful shoot-'em-up.
Sounds like it.
And at one point in the Metroid level, you jump on Silver Surfer's board and start going through like basically a bullet hell shooter. And but with more obstacles. You have like things shooting at you, and then like quick holes you have to dive in and shit like that. And but my problem with the game was, I think the only reason why I enjoyed it to the point I did was because I love James Rolfe. Like I love Angry Video Game Nerd.
Okay.
His videos up to recent have gotten kind of stale, and he's mostly stopped doing AVGN videos because he's focusing on the AVGN movie.
So he's pulling a Yahtzee, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Shots fired.
But like one of my first video game, quote unquote, video editorial experiences was the Angry Video Game Nerd. So it kind of got me into watching the people I do now. And so like the fan service part of it, I was totally down for.
Sure.
Like he has an NES toaster, where like it's like a toaster but with NES guts. And you put your cartridge in it, and then you push down the toaster, and that's how you load the cartridge.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and when you walk by it, and the checkpoints are the toaster. And so when you walk by it, pops up the cartridge. So stuff like that, you know.
That's pretty cool.
During the game, like if like an enemy like hits you or something like that, like a quick like quote, like a Angry Video Game Nerd-esque quote will pop up.
Fuck!
Yeah, something like essentially. And whereas like this is a shitload of fucks and all that fun stuff he says. Sometimes it can come across a little stale, seems a little forced.
Sure.
But
I mean, he was probably standing in a recording booth and not just taking audio out of.
It's not spoken. You have to read it.
Oh.
Which kind of it distracts you for all of the 2 seconds it takes you to die.
And then you die again.
Yeah. So I eventually learned to ignore it. But for that kind of experience,
I don't think that's really a good thing to have in your game. It's like, hey, we put this content in here that you have to ignore, or else it makes the game harder.
Yeah. When you run, I did like almost die laughing when I ran out of lives and had to start the level completely over because like the game over screen is you're dead, your family's dead, and it's like this giant rant that you just read. It's like you're dead, your family's dead, your cat ran into the street and got hit by a car, shit like that.
See, that's the kind of thing that like if I were writing a thing like that, it would be so long that it would just trail off the bottom of the screen and like just you literally can't finish it.
So, like, but as far as just looking at it subjectively as just a... Is that the right word, subjectively? Yeah, just looking at it subjectively as just a platformer, it's solid.
Okay.
It's one of those things where if you want to play a decent platformer, wait till it goes on sale.
Yeah. And
then pick it up.
Okay.
As it stands, unless you want to kind of subdue yourself to this fan service, it's not worth $15.
Okay.
Subject.
Yeah, that. I wouldn't necessarily say I regret the purchase because it was nice for me, and I like supporting the guys at Screw Attack.
Sure. That's definitely been a defining factor in a lot of my purchases where it's like, hey, I've played this game through other means, but you guys deserve money for this.
Right.
Yeah.
And because Screw Attack's one of those websites that I view religiously, so I was like, yeah, I'll toss them a bone because it was produced by Screw Attack, or it was distributed by Screw Attack, produced and developed by some studio.
Z-Board Games. Probably not.
No, I don't
Maybe.
know. Maybe.
Keep talking, I'll look it up.
Okay.
This fact-checking is gonna...
But it definitely, like I said, if you're just doing it for like a raw platforming experience...
Holy shit, Pac-Man Championship Edition DX is out now,
yes,
you guys.
Yes, it is. DX
Fuck.
Plus. DX Plus.
Fuck. Plus what?
Plus more DX.
Plus more anger.
Oh, God, fuck that game. But, like, it was one of those things to me where, because I had to kind of force myself to look at it.
Freak Zone Games.
Freak Zone Games, okay, there you go. I kind of had to force myself to look at it as like, hey, I'm going to pretend I'm not a fan of the angry video game nerd. Does this game hold water?
Uh-huh.
And in my opinion, it does if the price point was lower.
Sure.
Because
that's usually how those... Well, hopefully that's how those work.
Right. If you want to play a good platformer that gives you some firm but fair gameplay, Super Meat Boy is a good option. Fucking Cloudberry Kingdom's a wonderful option.
Did you finally pick that up?
Yes, I did. Oh my god, Cloudberry Kingdom. Oh my god. I thought not Tetris pissed me off.
Dude, I was just thinking about not Tetris.
We are redefining anger.
I really want to play that game.
I
really love playing that game.
Just out of sheer curiosity in Cloudberry Kingdom, I went to the free play mode where you can set the difficulty and length and all that and stuff like that. So I cranked everything all the way up.
Like you do.
And then I loaded the level, and it was literally like just a giant clusterfuck of swinging maces and disappearing platforms and shit like that. So I was like, huh. And when you go to the free play, they give you an unlimited amount of gems.
Right, so you just watch the robot.
Yeah. So I watched the robot do it, and he was just like, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, there's no fucking way. Because when that game gets that hard, like even a couple difficulties down, it's not where to jump. It's you need to start moving. Yeah. Because there are windows, and those windows will close like that. Yeah. And when they close, you gotta start over.
Is Cloudberry Kingdom esports?
It fucking should be. People that are good at that game need to get money. Because it's one of those games where it's not unreasonably unfair. Like,
you can still complete all the levels.
Right. Like, I want to be the guy where, like, you step on something that looks harmless and not meaningful, and then suddenly it shoots a spike up your ass.
Right.
You jump over the apple tree so that way the apple won't fall on you.
And then it shoots up and goes, fuck you, Isaac Newton.
Or you spend the first, 5 minutes trying to jump down that lower area just to find out, wait a second.
Yeah.
This is literally impossible.
Yep. Or you spend 5 minutes on the level select screen trying to walk across the bridge.
Well, that's yeah.
Yeah. Which is I Want to Be the Guy Dan, the sequel. But, like, Cloudberry Kingdom's one of those things where you can beat all the levels if you're Jesus.
I don't know. Even he had to respawn.
True.
Boom.
But
only once.
It's definitely not as difficult as Cloudberry Kingdom, AVG.
Well, then he rage quit.
He went back to chill with his daddy.
Yep. So fuck you guys, I'm taking my game and going home.
And he did.
Yep.
And now we're stuck here playing it without him.
Yep.
We
Deep cuts. Deep biblical cuts.
Angry Video Game Nerd Adventure is definitely not as hard as Cloudberry Kingdom, but if I were to have to pick between the two, I'd still pick Cloudberry Kingdom. It's just a better platform.
Isn't Cloudberry Kingdom also $10?
Yeah, it's also
and
cheaper.
not 15.
Mm-hmm. It's cheaper and provides much more gameplay because it has procedurally generated levels.
Right.
You never play the same level once.
Well, except for like the story mode or whatever, which is obviously predefined levels.
You're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, the entire game is procedurally generated.
Yeah.
The entire game. They base the progression off of the difficulty curve, not the levels.
Okay.
Because remember, me and you were talking about it, and you were just like, I wonder what the level. The first time we brought up this game, you were just like, I wonder what like the level developer, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. There was none. There's a fucking programmer that programmed procedurally generated levels and said, "Fuck you, level developer."
Jesus.
But what's so great about that game is it scales very correctly. Like
I believe it.
They did it so well.
Seems
yeah,
like
it's
it.
done with algorithms and not people.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dustin. Way to bring us into the dystopian future that is video games and music and entertainment and food and air.
Hey, dude. Soon we're gonna be eating cheeseburgers from a toothpaste tube. It's just gonna happen.
Hey, man, until you let
Can't wait for the future.
RJ, are you ready to accept math as your Lord and Savior?
Fuck no.
Are you ready to accept math as your evil overlord? Because it's gonna happen.
Google is already.
I know, that's
Google's
what I'm saying. It's already too late.
Google is a number. That's kind of math.
No, moving on. You got anything else you want to talk about, Keith? We're going on to news.
In the news. I'm gonna go ahead and start with
Man,
it. Oh,
we
you already
need
have it up.
Ha!
Okay, I was reading up on this.
We need a cool news thing.
We'll just steal it from the Daily Show.
No, we need a new cool...
Bum, 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 bum.
No, what's that?
Wait, that's
Is that
ESPN.
football? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait a second.
What's
We'll
that?
just steal 5 seconds from all of them.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
Dateline.
Oh, wait.
No,
a
that's
thing, too.
Nickelodeon.
No, it's not.
No, it's definitely.
It's Power Rangers.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
The original.
What's? Oh my god,
Rangers.
I'm trying to think of this fucking sound clip that I think we could just like gank and use.
Yeah, that's a good call. Let's talk about it on this thing that's going to be publicly broadcast.
No, the fucking when somebody's about to answer a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's all like do 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 do.
Welcome to the news.
Do 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 do. And
It's really depressing.
if we did this like a podcast video, we'd have to just have a light set up just for that part. Be like, today in the news, Kenya's malls got robbed in broad daylight. That happened.
I don't think Kenya has malls.
Kenya.
It's like the National Mall. It's just grass.
Anyway.
They don't have grass in Kenya.
Damn, son. That shit were cold. Shots fired in Kenya. Oh, wait. This podcast brought to you by really, really, really dark jokes. Alright, you want to talk about the Steam OS?
Yes, I do. I was totally reading up on
Let's
that.
talk about this thing that everyone has known was coming for like a year and a half now.
Yeah, and then they were just like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, oh, also it's going to be Linux-based. We knew. Oh, also it's the precursor to a Steam box. We knew.
But it was really cool because...
There's 2 more announcements coming.
Oh, about SteamOS?
About Valve stuff. This is like their week of hold on to your fucking assholes because we're going to stick things in them.
Half-Life 3? Am I being too hopeful?
Oh,
They say I'm a dreamer.
I will try to fix you. Okay, so real quick, I think the best troll that I ever saw about Half-Life was somebody posted an article that says, Gabe says no episode 3, but this was way back when the Penny Arcade guys were talking about Rain Slick Precipice of Darkness, and they were quitting working on that. But the headline of the article was Gabe says there will never be an episode 3, and people just fucking flipped tables.
And then that turned out to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because they did.
Yeah, they changed their minds. They found people that they liked working with.
Aren't they on like 5 now?
They're 4.
4? Okay.
I think that's the end of it.
Okay. Yeah, I only played through 2.
4 gods sit on the windowsill.
Sweet. But yeah, Steam OS. Because I've heard things about Steam, and I'm really excited for them kind of...
So it's this service that you can get on your computer where you can buy video games.
Steam is a dirty bitch, that's what I heard.
In case you didn't know.
Steam's a dirty bitch, that's what I heard.
Steam fucking sucks.
What?
It's hot.
Wait. Now I'm just confused.
I burnt myself with water today.
He was talking about actual Steam. Not Steam the OS.
Figured I'd plug that in.
Not Steam the video game.
This podcast is over. I will turn this around.
I was trying to bring it full circle, man.
You can't do that until the end. Now it's like a 6.
Well, we'll do 2 circles.
Or a 9.
Should we crank it back up to 11?
No, just talk about Steam OS.
Wait,
no,
is this
shut
like,
up.
Is this
no,
like a vault?
Shut up.
Is this
no,
like a vault? We've gone right.
It's
now we
not
have to go
like a
left.
vault.
Now we have to go right again twice.
No, this is like Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Thought we weren't allowed to bring that up.
We're not.
You see how we went back to the left?
Now I'm going to bring it back
Now we have to get back to the right.
with Steam operating system.
So that way we can open the door to the end of this podcast.
Shut up, talk.
I'm trying.
He was trying.
I told you to show it up. I told you to listen,
Oh,
go.
You looked at me the entire time.
Shut up,
That's
talk.
true.
Oh, so you're doing it again.
Shut up.
Okay.
The Steam operating system, because ever since Steam started releasing their games on Linux, a lot of people have been doing like side-by-side machine comparisons between running a game on Linux and a game on Windows with same spec machines, but just different operating systems. And apparently, they already run a bunch times better on Linux anyways. So it seems like they got that part right. And now it's all about sticking it in a thing that I can buy to play in my living room.
So,
I didn't think that was going in that direction.
So this sort of seems like it's half. This sort of seems like it's This sort of seems like it's half console, half stream box to your TV.
So it's the X-Bone?
Or I'm sorry, well, this is jumping on the machine.
It's like the Vita TV.
Right, that's what I was,
It's going to be a baby console.
So it's kind of interesting because I think Steam...
it'll have high-fidelity releases because it has the Steam back catalog.
Right. So I think it's hilarious that Valve is sort of doing the opposite of what, like, game developers did before, because the reason everybody says, the whole console wars thing is all the PC developers, when the 360 and PlayStation and everything started, like, jumping off, they said, hey, we're going to go develop console games because that's where the money is, because piracy. Whereas it seems like Valve is actually doing the opposite thing, where they're like, here's this box, now come to us.
Right.
It is extremely like a, if you build it, they will come, because with this extended generation, a lot more people have jumped on the PC tip, and that means a lot more people who are probably have open minds towards going, yeah, I'll just dedicate myself directly to Valve.
Yeah, I mean, I've basically done it.
So are you ready to accept your new evil overlord?
Valve is not math.
Does my evil overlord come with hats?
Well, I'd say due to history, yeah.
Then give me the fucking hats and let's go.
RJ does love him some hats.
Fucking so begins a new age of hats. Anyways.
Right. But I was really excited because I've been looking for what I call them like baby consoles essentially. But this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And the game stick, which is basically an Ouya, but it's a flash drive instead.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
But if Steam...
See, I thought you were talking about like the Atari sticks that have like Galaga and Pac-Man in them.
No.
Okay.
If Steam puts... If Valve, when they start making the Steam box, gives it enough oomph to play Steam's back catalog...
Right.
Like, that's... And then us as Steam consumers have access to the games we already purchased on said Steam box,
Yeah.
they just won. Like,
Well,
like,
see,
I would
the
just
problem,
like them to have enough memory to make it possible.
So, is it Linux based?
yeah, it's Linux.
Okay.
based.
So, I guess the problem then might be getting all of the
Porting.
Yeah. That's my.
It'd be hard to be like, hey, developers, you should like port this game to Linux, and because if you've already purchased it on Steam,
Yeah.
you have access to the Mac, Linux, and Windows download to it.
I think some of them. Well, I think the vast. I don't think I've seen anything that isn't Steam Play where you can play across all of them.
Yeah.
But I think people still have that option technically.
Well, the only reason I say that is because every game that I've purchased on Steam that has both a Linux or both a Windows and Mac version of it, it's given me 2 separate installers on my Steam library.
Right.
You know, and then if I ever boot up Steam on a Mac, and just be like, well, I want to play this, you know, and then I just have to install it and wait forever.
Right.
But I think that's going to be the hardest tear for them is to be like, hey, developers, you should start porting these games so they're supported by Linux, so we can put them on the Steam box. And developers, especially if they do the Steam Play thing, developers are going to be like, well, where's the money in it? You know, because if you make it like, let's say, for example, I purchased a game that's across all 3 platforms or all 3 operating systems, I've already bought the game.
Right.
Or across all Mac and Windows rather.
Mm-hmm.
Mac and Windows, I already bought the game, and if they port it to Linux and then make it available on the Steam box, but then make me have to pay for it again, I'm not going to fucking pay for it because I already have it on PC.
Right.
But then again, so that's going to already turn the consumer away. But if developers decide to just do it to give it a bigger audience and have the installed user for the game much higher, they're not going to make any money off of it unless people's only access to Steam
is through the Steam box.
Because then they have to buy it through the Steam box. But the only problem with that is most of your Steam has a huge installed user base already.
Yeah.
So nobody that already uses Steam or nobody that doesn't use Steam because they don't have a PC but do play on consoles, I think they're going to be kind of hard-pressed to be like, well, you can come to the Steam box. And it's like, but I have a 360. So all because, I mean, the way...
Assuming that they're, putting out a comparable system out, you would still get a higher fidelity version of that game. But then, again, you have the problem of reselling that game to someone.
You have the problem of reselling that game and hardware costs.
Right.
Because they could pull the Ouya route and kind of skim the top and
I don't think they're going to
try to release a $100 console.
I don't think they're going to fucking do that.
They can go mid-range and release like a $200 or $300 console, or they can just go for broke, and then
I think that Valve is smart enough not to go the Ouya route because it's Valve, and they're smart enough to have gone the Steam route in the first place.
This is what I think Valve will do. Because Steam already has such a big installed user base, they make oodles of money off of Steam.
Yep.
I think they'll sell it at a loss and put the hardware that needs to be in it.
Probably.
Because once it gets an installed user base, they're going to make all that shit up off software sales.
Yep.
So if they're smart and they want to
Valve already makes truly stupid amounts of money.
So that's the only thing that makes sense to me. That's why selling at a loss for like the next generation, because Sony just announced that they're going to be selling the PS4 at a loss, which I expected.
Which they did with the PS3.
Way to continue to blow up my news.
Oh, sorry.
Which they continued. That's what they did for the PS3
relevant.
forever.
Yeah, but it's definitely relevant.
Right.
Because the issue with that is that although there is access to buying... there is access to purchasing games digitally, and Sony can definitely skim more off the top by doing that. It's still a physical product driven console.
Right.
They can't pull as much money from developers for the physical product because the publisher has to pay to package it. So the publisher has less to give, so to speak. But with something like the Steam box, Valve already makes oodles of money on digital sales. They're basically pocketing it right now because they're not developing shit.
Well, I wouldn't bet on that. I bet for every one product we see out of Valve currently, there's like probably 5 to 10 that are just
sitting,
or that are either prototype. Like I pretty much can guarantee that they are just sitting there prototyping shit constantly and just being and just going, what works. Right. Because when they do put shit out, Dota 2 kind of fell into their lap a little bit, but I mean, Portal 2, or they're looking for the next that's the thing is outside of Half-Life,
they got lucky with Portal.
Valve goes for the next great thing where they're out there and they probably have their feelers out for somebody who's working on something right now,
and then they pull them in,
and then they grab the next Kim Swift, and then they're like, we're gonna turn this into this, and it's gonna be incredible. And she just nods her head and goes, okay.
Yeah, because we're gonna pay you oodles of money. That's what happened with Portal.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
They went to some game jamboree thing, and they were showcasing this game, and Valve was just like, if we pull you in, and then let our Half-Life writer take care of it, and then you guys use our engine and our textures, we'll fully fund your game. And then they made fucking bank.
Yeah.
But going back to the fucking Steam box, I feel like if they're gonna do it, they need to get developers on board with porting to Linux. And
what I was gonna say about that is I see it. It's going to be a lot hard. So, indie devs, I think, will probably jump all over that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Because a lot of those things are already out. A lot of them have already gone, shit, yeah, we'll put it on, Fez is on Linux. Fucking a billion other things are on Linux already. So that will be a lot less of a problem. But, getting these major publishers and developers to go back to things that are already out, I think will be a much bigger problem. Yeah. But since we are moving to this new console generation in less than 2 months, I see going forward it would be a lot less of an issue.
Yeah, and I think.
So then they just kind of position it as the other console in the market to some degree,
right? Because, and I think developers especially if the Steam box gets a good installed user base, I think developers will be like, well, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Right.
I think. The only issue I keep going back to is if there's a franchise that has sold decently well on Windows and Mac, but like a AAA franchise, because we all know how AAA publishers love to make their money. And they go, and Valve goes, hey, can you guys port some of your titles over to Linux so we can run it on the Steam box? And they go, are you going to resell it, or are you going to access it through Steam Play? And if Steam goes, no, they can basically just access the game on a different operating system, I have a feeling a lot of developers are just going to go, we'll think about it, and then never think about it.
Yeah. But, I mean, we'll see. Yeah.
We'll definitely see.
It's hard. Also,
it's hard to call at this point.
By this point next week, we'll probably have oodles more information about all of that, because there's another announcement that's, timed for, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So, we're getting there. So, yeah, you jumped on this you've already jumped on a couple things, but the PS4 is being sold at a $60 loss per console.
Yep. Which isn't as bad as the PS3.
Right. Which, yeah. The PS3 on launch day was being sold for a $300 loss.
Yeah.
That's kind of a significant difference.
Yeah. Especially since the PS3 was so expensive at launch.
Right.
At least, with this, it's the PS4 is a lower price than the Xbone, and that's why they're taking the loss. It's hey, we're going to put it at this lower price because we saw that had a good effect on sales for Xbox.
Although I think that's true. Also, to a certain degree, the reason why the price point is $400 lower is
$100 lower,
or $100 lower rather, $400. It's $400 console. Is because of the PlayStation's new camera peripheral. It's basically going to be the Kinect. It's going to have gesture recognition and shit like that.
Interesting.
And they considered bundling it with every console, but they were just like, we don't want a $500 price tag.
Yeah.
And then they dumped it.
So the other thing is that $60 is not a lot.
Nope.
They'll make that up in software.
Well, that's the thing, is that looking at this article, if they can sell somebody PlayStation Plus for a year and a game walking out the door, and if you buy a PS4 and you're not buying a game when you're walking out the door, you're a fucking idiot.
You're wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of
doing
it wrong. Kind of dumb.
As long as they can do those two things, they've made up the difference.
Yeah.
$60 is not, even $100 is not super insurmountable.
Right.
They could have put this out for $350, taken a $110 loss on every one of these, and I bet people would go walking out the door with 2 games and a PlayStation Plus subscription, and
especially
like think how nuts a like $300 or $350 console would be,
especially
right now.
for their new generation.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, like as cheap as their current console.
Considering that was a price drop for the 360 last generation, they're just like, hey, we just dropped from 400 to 350, and everyone's like, woo!
Yeah. But Sony's talking about they're expecting to sell 5 million units this year, like by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which I can't see how those numbers make sense. Like, they've already got all the pre-orders in. They already know what their manufacturing numbers are going to be. They should know exactly how many they've already sold.
Well,
technically. I mean, granted, some people might not have paid them off, but PlayStation pre-orders and Xbox pre-orders are into next year. So as far as I'm concerned, like, they should have those numbers in already.
To be fair, I have heard some people report that their like Amazon pre-orders and stuff that used to say like January of next year got bumped up to the launch date.
Oh, mine didn't do that, fuckers. Yeah, they have been going.
They've been shuffling that queue because at that point it's Sony looking at all the people. You know, they're looking at Best Buy, they're looking at Walmart, they're looking at GameStop, they're looking at Amazon, they're looking at Newegg, they're looking at everybody that's selling it, and they're going, okay, here's another chunk that we can guarantee you.
Right.
Well, from what I understand as well, it's the pre-orders have been pre-ordered, but at the same time, the only reason they're limiting pre-orders isn't actually manufacturing, or at least this is what I heard. It's so that way they can put a greater number of consoles in stores at launch so they can be bought on the spot by people waiting in lines instead of people who pre-ordered them.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could definitely, especially after the issue with the Wii on its launch. The Wii wasn't available for like months.
I mean, so the onus there is on at that point, like, I'm gonna just say it. It's on the GameStop to not fucking juke people and say, hey, we have 50 pre-orders when you know you only have 25.
Right.
Because then you and the other thing is, like, if this was smart, you'd have the system where it's like, hey, you've got 24 or 48 hours to come here and pick this shit up.
Or we're selling it.
Yeah. So that A, it doesn't get sold out from under people, and B, it's not fucking sitting there for forever.
It's funny you say that because that's exactly what GameStop does.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah, they go.
I'm calling you out.
Yeah, you have 3 days to come pick up your pre-order, or they put it on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, but I'm sure there are also places where it just gets fucking sold out from under them because stores are competitive and they want their numbers to be up. So fucking shady ass managers don't give a shit.
If I would have came in like a day and a half after launch and I was like, here to pick up my PS4, and they go, oh, like, all right, well, you owe me $400 worth of your stuff, and then when my PS4 comes in, I'll be back to give you your stuff.
Yeah. It's like, you see this display? I'm taking it.
You can't have it back. See that window? I broke it. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's mine now.
I own the store.
So
one thing I do want to touch on briefly while we're on the subject of Sony.
Go for it.
Remember how I talked about the Vita TV?
Yeah.
And how there was no indication of whether or not Sony was going to release it outside of Japan?
Yes.
Apparently they were so surprised
by the reaction
from the Western market going, oh my God, give us this thing. They were just like, well, we need to hire people to translate the language now, and blah, 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 and they're actually seriously considering a U.S. and Western market launch. And I was just like, fucking yes!
Again, it's just how Japan looks at business shit, where it's just like, they're not looking for the immediate reaction. They're long term making this judgment call and just being like, yeah, they probably won't. Oh God, they care. Oh Jesus, do they care?
Because one of the biggest complaints I heard about the Vita is everybody was just like, these games look really good. I want to play them on my big TV. Mm-hmm. And me,
I want analog control.
Me being well, the sticks are analog.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, sorry, I was thinking about the PSP.
Yeah, which just has nubs.
Well, it also only had one analog stick.
Right. But one thing that always, and this is just me, a lot of people don't feel this way, but I know people that do feel this way. When I had portable consoles, like when I still played my DS, and when I had a PSP briefly, and then I sold it, I never really took it anywhere. I got it for the exclusives. And then it just kind of went, like, I got my PSP because I wanted to play all the Metal Gear Solid games on it, and then some of the Final Fantasy remakes were pretty good too, And then I was just kind of like, but I never took it anywhere.
Well, you are not 12. You are not riding in a car,
right?
Or going on long family trips.
Usually
when you're going places, you're going places to fucking do something.
Yeah. And you're driving.
Yeah, I'm usually driving.
That's always been my problem with. That's been my problem with handhelds since I became an adult.
Yeah.
And the second I could drive, I no longer brought my handheld anywhere because I couldn't use it in the car.
Remember when you came to visit and me and you sat there and played Pokemon in my room for like 3 hours?
Yes.
We didn't fucking move.
Nothing. You don't do anything. You just sit and play the handheld.
I occasionally reached over to get chips.
Yeah, like I occasionally sipped on my drink and ate some chips. Yeah. But all I've...
Man, that was an afternoon.
Oh, that was a blast for me. Especially because I could
fucking running shoes.
Because I could run.
God damn it.
But
horseshit. Back in my day, you were fucked until you got the bike.
I've always just wanted
Ruby Red bullshit.
I always wanted the option, never thinking it was ever going to happen for somebody to just be like, well, it's like the portable. Because I love the GBA player for my GameCube. Shit was awesome. I just throw my GBA cartridge in there and I can play whatever GBA game on my TV, and I didn't move anyways, and it's a big screen that I can actually see because my GBA sucked.
Right.
Because before I got the SP. So this is literally like Sony going, hey, we feels you, so we're going to give you that service plus a stream box. And for me, for a consumer that doesn't really go anywhere with portable consoles, to pay with a DualShock 3 controller, to pay $150, which is $100 cheaper than what will soon be the price for the Vita, and still play the relatively good-looking Vita games,
right,
without having to A, spend the extra money, and B, stare at a tiny screen. It's going to be wonderful. Of course, you can't use the touch-sensitive shit.
Right, which would be a bummer for some of that stuff.
Right.
But.
Like some of the more interesting games on the PS Vita, obviously you try to utilize touchscreen as much as possible, but somebody that's like, to be honest, the only reason I wanted a Vita in the first place was play the HD remakes of everything. So because that's literally half of the Vita's catalog is classics and remakes.
Yeah.
And once Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD remake comes out in the Vita, you best believe that's either today I force them to give me a Vita TV or I buy a Vita. Because I haven't played that game in fucking years. One of my favorite Final Fantasy games ever.
Right.
But that's a service you can get from Sony, and the sheer inclination that they're considering a Western launch makes me uber excited. Even if I don't feel like paying $150, I'll just steal one of his 80 DualShock 3 controllers.
I've got 3.
I'll steal one of his 80 DualShock 3 controllers.
His 83 DualShock controller.
Because I only had one, and then I had a crappy Mad Catz.
Like you do.
Yep, that left and right triggered, though.
Alright, so let's talk about GTA some more.
The thing I spoiled?
Yeah. So
3 days, bitch.
3 days.
Take that, Activision.
$2 billion. Again, we're going to talk about this for 2 seconds. It took Call of Duty Black Ops 2 15 days. It took the Avengers 19 days to reach $1 billion. 3 days. There's just there is an office somewhere.
The only thing that
in Rockstar North where it's just you walk in the door and there's a hooker and she's got cocaine already on her, and you just
dive in.
Yeah.
The only thing that bugs me about them, because I keep hearing these comparisons to movies and how quickly they grossed $1 billion. The only thing that bugs me about that, $11 movie ticket, $60 game.
Well, yeah.
And which I get because that to me means the movie had to be good enough to facilitate.
Also, it's not always $11.
If it's like IMAX and 3D, so $18.
Or depending where you live.
Right.
Right.
We live in North Carolina, not California.
California.
Like $20 or more.
Still $40 less.
Yeah.
But that gives the comparison merit and like dismerits it at the same time. I believe it dismerits it because you can't compare those sales, different medium, different price points, blah blah blah. But you can, but that does speak to the movie's credit, saying, hey, that means in North Carolina, let's take our movie ticket average and just apply it to the rest of the world for simplicity's sake.
Man.
So we'll average at $15-$20.
I was gonna say make it $15 and just say
$15-$20 movie ticket. That means that movie was good enough to get $1 billion in sales at a $15-$20 price point.
Or I mean, but
which is still impressive.
But the thing about movies is you can go in and you can watch the movie again. I know tons of people who will go and watch the movie with one group of friends, go and watch it with their family if they really like it. Sometimes they'll see it 6 or 7 times in a theater just because they're like, oh my god, I'm so freaked out about this movie, it's so awesome.
I ain't gonna lie, I saw Punisher Warzone in theaters 4 times.
See, people do that.
You don't buy
that movie is great.
When you have Grand Theft Auto,
my rose-colored glasses.
When you buy Grand Theft Auto 5, you don't go, man, this game was phenomenal. I'm gonna buy it again.
That is very true.
Like
that's a very very interesting look on it.
Like it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare apples to oranges. They are both fruits.
That's all you got.
That's about it.
I bought
that you can make juice out of both of them.
I bought Super Meat Boy twice.
Yeah, but you bought it for 2 different mediums.
Or two different
Didn't
platforms.
You?
I mean,
you bought it for my Xbox 360 and you bought it on Steam.
Sure,
and you bought it several months apart. If
I still paid $15 for both of them.
Well, you're just silly.
Again, it's
because guess what? That was a Summer of Arcade game, which means it didn't come out on PC for forever.
But you know what?
Right, but at the same time, it was $10-$15. Yeah. It wasn't $60.
He has a point.
$10-$15 to $10-$15.
He has a point. Right. He has a point in one respect that they never stop counting a movie's gross until well into DVD sales.
Yeah.
You go watch a movie for $15. Once it comes out on DVD, you spend $25 to get it on DVD.
I can't play Grand Theft Auto 5 in theaters.
True. Not with that attitude.
Anybody that can get us into the projector room,
so
let us know.
This is another thing that we're going to talk about real briefly because it's going to fucking, I'm sure, spark a shitstorm somehow, or it already has. There's a dude in Baton Rouge who claims that Grand Theft Auto inspired him to, when he saw a truck running, jump into the truck, try and steal it, found out that there was a female passenger in it, try and restrain her, which pretty much just led to him crashing into 9 other vehicles, and at that point she had plenty of time to get away and he was restrained by people. So, yeah, I guess every once in a while video games inspire
crazy, stupid...
I mean, he didn't try and shoot up a bunch of people, so I guess that's a positive.
That's a thing.
But...
And it's just... But... This is the first time I've heard of a dude actually outright just saying it versus like the government going, video games are bad, they make people bad. This is a guy going, no, literally, this game made me want to do this.
He's 20 years old.
Yeah, this is a $20 Alabama man who was in Baton Rouge for a $20-year-old Alabama man who was in Baton Rouge for a football game. So he was probably wasted when he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And he just went, oh yeah, this seems fun.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he could have easily seen this thing here and gone, you know what, I could blame this on Grand Theft Auto, and nobody would bat an eye. Everybody would be like, yeah. You know, and so I'm gonna do some stupid shit just because I can.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. That's the problem with something that came out so quickly as, oh, it was totally Grand Theft Auto's fault.
Hey, it's convenient that their new title just launched.
I like how he's like, oh, Grand Theft Auto made me do it, when if it was actually something that Grand Theft Auto did, like if it was something that had an actual effect on him, and really made him into some sort of sociopath, it would be deep in his psyche. It wouldn't be like, oh yeah, no, this is what made me do it.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Fucking dipshit.
So, let's talk about Saints Row 4 some more.
Yeah.
So, do you know what the game Shadow Warrior is?
Yes.
You know that they're coming out with a new one?
Yes.
Or redoing the old one as a new thing?
Yes.
You know that the main character's name is Lo Wang?
Yes.
Did you now know that if you own a copy of Saints Row 4 and you play the game, you can use a giant pink dildo instead of his katana?
I love Keith's face. I love Keith's face. I wish you guys could see it because he's so upset right now. Like, his brain doesn't know how to react, and it's phenomenal.
You seem upset about this.
Very upset about
The hilt is the balls. The hilt is the balls.
That's all we're gonna do. The Xbox One is, unless you've got something you want to say about it, but I thought that was dumb. Yep.
Move on.
Okay. So the Xbox
Never
One
saw that.
claims to support 4 apps and 6 users at once, taking it one step closer to a PC.
Like you do.
Because right now I've got Audacity and iTunes and Chrome and Steam and other stuff open, and I'm pretty sure I could have 6 people logged into here at the same time if I wanted to.
There's be a way to do that.
Yeah.
Don't stand your Xbox One vertical.
This is another... There are a couple of these that we're just going to bang through.
Yeah.
Don't stand your Xbox One vertical. Apparently the way that they manufactured it...
it's not meant to be vertical.
Yeah,
yes, it's not meant to be vertical.
Although from what I understand, now the disk drive is the grabby disk drive. It's
right.
It's not a set.
Yeah,
one.
it's a slot drive.
Yeah, it's a slot drive.
It was funny what Pinello said about it, where he was basically just like, you bought it, you can do what you want, but we told you.
Yeah, it literally, his quote is, do it at your own risk.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay.
Well, and it's funny, because do they have the statistic on there? Yeah, they do.
80%.
80% of Xbox 360 owners use their Xbox vertically.
Yeah.
So it's just like, go for that.
Yeah, whatever. So no indie titles on the Xbox One until 2014.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which could mean a couple things. It could mean no Xbox indie titles until January 1st, which would be a month and a week, which would not be a huge deal.
Right.
Or it could mean, into the middle of Q whatever.
Right.
But this, I don't think this is a super huge sticking point because everybody's going to be focused on the AAA titles anyways and not the indie games coming out.
Right.
But Sony was making such a huge push
For indie stuff,
like directly to developers, that this could... This probably won't bite Microsoft from the consumer end, but it might bite them from the developer end at some point.
Right. Especially because if they're sharing indie titles between the consoles.
Yeah.
Because if an indie developer knows that they're going to get exposure on a Sony platform first, probably going to focus on developing for that platform.
Probably.
Either that, or they focus on the development for that platform only slightly more than they focus on it for the Xbone.
Right.
And they put out a subpar quality game.
Right. Which happens to PC all the time.
Which certainly has a lot of potential to happen because people would want to put it out on the PS4 thinking, okay, this is coming out sooner, so we need to go ahead and we need to focus on this and get it out, mm-hmm. and then it becomes subpar when they know they've got some wait time on the Xbone. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like it could easily go either way.
Another funny thing about Microsoft announcing the limitations of their console right now. Apparently, when you
the limitations that keep changing.
when you do captures on the Xbox, it won't support. It'll only be supported by Xbox Live up to this point. Like when you capture video game footage, you won't actually be able to export it to edit it or put it up on YouTube or anything like that until sometime in 2014.
Great.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yep. So no random videos of like Halo 6,
right? Where
people are just teabagging everyone on YouTube for at least a couple of months.
Shaking my head. So this is cool. I think this is cool. Two of the leads from The Walking Dead are getting together with I believe 4 of the devs from the people who made Mark of the Ninja, and they are forming a new studio with Ollie Moss. So I'm excited about that.
Is Telltale still going to exist?
Yeah, but this is just
a new company to do other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is 2 of the guys from that Telltale team.
Cool.
And I was showing you guys earlier, reminding you what some of Ollie Moss's work is. For anybody who doesn't know directly who he is, you can go to just olliemoss.com. Mm-hmm. That's his website. Or if you bought Resistance 3, he did the cover art for that.
Yeah.
And he's fucking awesome.
So I can see.
Dude does cool shit. So yeah, I'm excited about that because it means it could have like a really neat art direction, or at least really good box art. I don't know. But
he's going to be developing that for the whole time. Just the box art.
Well, part of what I saw,
really badass box art.
Part of what I saw is that Ollie Moss is apparently like actually putting like development input into the game.
Except it comes out for PC, Mac, and Linux, which means there is no box.
Listen, this is really bad dead air, but look at this Super Meat Boy box art. You fucking
no, I have
shut
seen
your goddamn mouth.
I have seen the Super Meat Boy, like,
He looks like the Thing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome.
So you guys want to talk about this?
No.
At all?
No.
Yeah,
it's kind of
I actually do.
This happened to like
somebody said
literally the day after we
somebody
recorded
the other day
last
said
week.
somebody the other day said and I didn't get a chance to correct them. Somebody the other day said the creator of Mario died.
Yeah.
And I almost punched myself in the dick.
At this point, he was just one of Nintendo shareholders, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Hiroshi Yamauchi is the man who pretty much took Nintendo from where it was to a game console developer.
Right.
Which was pretty much nothing to pretty much everything they were in the 90s.
Right.
The 80s and 90s. And that's pretty fucking badass.
And he's 12th richest man in Japan, apparently.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And he's
sort of the Gary Gygax of Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, and try and make that comparison.
And he very much spearheaded what we have now in every essence. So,
well,
thank God for people in the right places.
Yeah, definitely condolences to the family and
Word.
Yeah,
Yo dog.
for sure.
So one more kind of fun thing to wrap this up. George R.R. Martin has to step his game up because he doesn't think his characters are evil enough after watching Breaking Bad.
Walter White is not evil. That actually kind of bugs me.
He's a manipulative fuck.
Yeah, he was doing it for his family, though, and then...
but the people he manipulated, he did not do good things to.
Yeah, Jesse's kind of fucked. No spoilers, though.
Do you remember Frayne?
Oh, I remember, yeah.
And
Breaking Bad's amazing.
How he got Harvey dented towards the end at the end of his arc.
Have you been keeping up with the new season?
Oh, yeah. I mean...
no spoilers.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I think this is hilarious. Where George R. R. Martin, the dude who is like the epitome of like fucked up, twisted shit, is just like, this isn't good enough.
Dude, we had a fucking...
You know, I've cut dicks off of people before in my stories.
But that's not good enough.
They're just not evil enough.
I cut this dude's finger open and like slowly pulled the bone out until he told me to stop, and then I cut his finger off. Not even close.
Dude,
now we're gonna put that finger in a blender and then make him drink it afterwards. That's the new level.
That's the new level. A buddy of mine who's also really into Breaking Bad as well. We were watching one of the episodes from this season because it's the series finale coming up. And
next week.
Yeah, and he was just like, you know, it'd be funny if Walter White
wakes up and it was all a dream.
Yeah, no. Well, something similar, but if Walter White just started changing his identity and moving to a different state, and that's how we got Malcolm in the Middle.
That's terrifying.
For anybody that doesn't get that joke, same actor that played Malcolm's dad in Malcolm in the Middle.
Holy shit,
he pretty much wears the same clothes in the first season. Like, oh,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, can you see it? Because I think that would be glorious.
Or he just takes way too much meth and he blows his brain cells
When you
out.
said he thinks it's all, or it turns out all be a dream, I can just imagine Malcolm's dad waking up and going, "What the fuck was that?"
So the old Star Trek Quantum Leap joke was that at the end of Star Trek, he was just going to turn around and leap out at the end of the series, and how great of a like between two TV shows connection would that be? Fucking Scott Bakula. All right, we got anything else we need to talk about right here?
Nope.
Come see us on Saturday at the Boardwalk. Not on the Boardwalk, but at the Boardwalk.
I might be there this time.
Watch us. I guess by the time this podcast goes up, it'll be tonight. Watch us tonight on Wednesday the 25th on Fuck You and Friends. It'll be on Ustream, so you can find it. If not, you can go to Slashplayed's website, which you obviously already know because you're listening to the podcast.
We'll probably post a link
and
up.
we'll post a link up, like we have been.
Wait, we have a website?
No.
Oh. Fuck,
Don't lie to people.
You got my hopes.
I'm gonna stick my dick in your ear.
Anyways.
Bye, guys.
It's been the Slashplayed Podcast for this week. Say goodbye, Keith.
Bye, Keith.